Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. In this video, we'll be checking out two peripherals sent out by Epomaker, their RT80 wireless 75% mechanical keyboard, and later on in the video, their Cypher 21 wireless mechanical and hotswappable calculator numpad. If you want to skip to that portion of the video, you can click on the Cypher 21 chapter down in the description. As for the RT80, it has some cool features like a gasket mount structure with 5 layers of sound enhancing and dampening pads, cherry profile PBT keycaps, a detachable mini display, and touchscreen for some enhanced functionality. Sounds pretty neat, right? Well, it actually is, and I can say that because it's the only keyboard I've used in the past month. During that time, it was used for everything from video editing to scripting and a lot of gaming. But it's still not perfect, and I'll share some of those flaws with you later in the video. For now, let's skip what's in the box and jump to what everyone wants to learn about and hear first from a keyboard video. What are the switches and how do they sound? The RT80 is available with two switch options, Epomaker's Flamingo switch and the Wisteria switch, which is what I have. Both are linear, factory lubed 5-pin hot swappable switches that support N-key rollover, up to 1000 Hz polling with a wired connection, and 125 Hz polling with Bluetooth. But they're not identical, as you can see by this side-by-side performance chart. The Wisteria switches have a good weight to them and their construction feels well made. Pressing down the stem feels light and smooth, and the audible sound when bottoming out the stem is without pinging like you might hear on lower quality switches. I wouldn't necessarily call these quiet linears, but they're not too obnoxious to use in an office. And if Cynthia or Bob in the next cubicle over start complaining, it's just because they're jealous how creamy these sound. Of course, it's not just the switches that make the RT80 sound so pleasant. It's also thanks to those 5 layers of sound enhancing film and dampening foams to give the clearest audible response. By taking a look at this shameless screenshot, because I don't want to crack this baby open, you'll see where all that dampening foam and enhancing film rests. At the top of the foam pile is pour-on sandwich foam, followed by an IXPE switch pad, PET sound enhancing pad, switch socket pad, and lastly some foam at the bottom of the case. Its gasket structure also aids in dampening vibrations, softening harsh bottom outs, and reduces typing noise, while pre-lubed plate-mounted stabilizers also play a part with the larger keys like the backspace, enter, left shift, and the spacebar by reducing unwanted rattling. Similar to many other gasket mount keyboards, the RT80 has some balance and flexibility, but I don't like to flex it too far due to the glass and screen at the bottom right. Its casing is entirely ABS plastic, so if you prefer something more weighty like aluminum, this might not be for you. Design-wise, the RT80 comes in 2 options, a gray-white variant and black. The two don't vary much aside from color scheme, except I did learn from my rep at Epomaker, the gray-white variant has die-sub PBT keycaps, while the black's keycaps are double-shot PBT. And included in the box, along with a USB to USB-C cable, spare switches, and switch puller, are some spare enter and escape keycaps in 4 different colors, white, red, green, and blue. And there are also some black command and option keycaps if you set up the RT80 to work with Mac, but I'm not sure if these are also included with the gray-white variant. Both sets of keycaps still come in the cherry profile, and over the past month of heavy use, I found them comfortable, but I've also been typing on them at the keyboard's highest tilt, of which there are 3 tilt stages from flat to mid and to high from the 2-stage feet at the bottom. Not only have the keys been comfortable for typing, but they've been exceptional for gaming as well. I've been playing a lot of Black Ops 6, and the concave curvature of the WASD keys has made the movement commands precise. My biggest gripe with this keyboard actually only involves one key, the right shift key. Some of you may be familiar with keyboards of this style, but the RT80 is my first, so it's taken several weeks to get used to having such a small shift key. Thankfully, right shift serves no purpose in the games I play, but for typing, which I do a lot of each week for videos, that's been a struggle involving a lot of backspace spamming. Still on the topic of keycaps, the legends are crisp and bold and offer no pass-through for RGB. Instead, they're all white. There also aren't any sub-legends to dictate secondary key functions, and depending on who you are, this will be either a blessing or a curse. For me, I prefer the cleaner look without sub-legends cluttering up the keycaps. And if you are curious on secondary functions or shortcut keys, Epomaker does offer a full list of those for both Windows and Mac on the first page inside the user manual. However, if you're mainly looking for navigation keys, the RT80 does offer 6 of them on dedicated keys. These nav keys include print, scroll, insert, delete, page up, and page down. On top of that, there are also 3 media control buttons located on the bottom right just below the touchscreen, and these include back skip, forward skip, and play pause. Other than that, both offer the same detachable 1.13-inch TFT LCD display and 1.54-inch glass touchscreen. The detachable display connects to a USB-C port hidden in the same compartment as where the 2.4G dongle is stored. And unfortunately, you can't plug in the display screen while simultaneously storing the 2.4G dongle. It just won't fit. However, when you do plug it in after either stashing the dongle elsewhere or plugging it in for use, the display screen can be used for showing the date and time, battery life, and connection modes, or displaying your personal gifts, which you can upload to the display with Epomaker's free software. Meanwhile, the touchscreen provides more functionality. Tapping the glass transitions the screen to a 4-square grid layout with volume controls and a shortcut that opens up the snipping program. However, if you swipe across the glass, you'll have access to 2 additional grids, with one of those already prelocated with assignments. On the second grid, you get shortcuts to the Windows search bar and settings menu, and zoom in and zoom out feature. Meanwhile, the last grid is blank, allowing you to fill in with shortcuts and commands within the free software. These days, every wireless keyboard seems to have tri-mode connectivity, so USB-C wired, Bluetooth 3.0 and 5.0, and 2.4 GHz mode with an included dongle. In this instance, it's hidden away on the back of the keyboard near the escape key. And while Bluetooth mode lets you connect wirelessly to handheld devices like phones or tablets, wired USB-C lets you connect not only to PCs, but game consoles like PS5 and Xbox. Though keep in mind, just because the RT80 works in console menus, there's no guarantee it will work in every game. The switch for alternating between these modes is at the top right, above the print and scroll keys, with 2.4G mode slid to the left, wired USB-C positioned in the middle, and Bluetooth slid to the right. Connecting to Bluetooth is simple. Just remember to long press either function plus Q, W, or E for Bluetooth device 1, 2, or 3 to enter the pairing mode. After your keyboard is paired to a device or several, you can short press function plus Q, W, or E to select those assigned devices. If your keyboard doesn't automatically connect to your 2.4G dongle out of the box like mine did, then long press function plus R to reestablish connection. The included wired USB-C cable is interesting. You get this really long, bulky cable. On one hand, the metal plate over the USB-A connector is a hardcore move, but the cable itself is rubber and thick as a garter snake. It also has this huge yellow leather or faux leather tie strap that stands out like a mustard stain, so if you care about your aesthetics at your desk, you may want to make sure this is hidden. As for me, I've been using this coiled braided cable, which also happens to be one of Epomaker's products, but I purchased this a long time ago. Still, it's been convenient and works great, but any USB-C you use with another keyboard should work with the RT80. Like many other gaming keyboards on the market, the RT80 has RGB, but unlike a lot of them, the RT80 actually features south-facing LEDs, which not everyone is a fan of. If you're of the sort to swap out keycaps and prefer pass-through keycaps, the south-facing LEDs won't shine through nearly as well. However, on this keyboard with the keycaps that aren't pass-through, I actually like the south-facing LEDs because they seem brighter, but I'll admit when sitting back a bit, you can actually see the LEDs underneath the switch, which you might find annoying, but I personally don't mind. Meanwhile, the backlighting can be controlled 2 ways, either with function combos through the keyboard or through the free software. If you're not looking for strong customization and just want something fast, the keyboard function combos might be a better option. All of your backlight controls are focused to the navigation keys and require the use of the function key. Function plus page down turns on and off the backlighting, function plus delete cycles through different patterns, function plus page up changes the backlight color, function plus up and down arrows increase and decrease the brightness, and function plus left and right arrows slow down and speed up the pattern speed. If you're looking for more customization options for RGB or want to create macros or function settings, add new shortcuts to the touchscreen, or upload your favorite GIF to the display screen, you can download Epomaker's free software from their site. I'll include the link down below. Once you're in the software, you'll have access to everything I just mentioned: key bindings, key macros, key combos, etc. Under Screen is where you can upload GIFs up to 92 frames or create your own on the drawboard. Under Touchscreen is where you can add new application shortcuts to the touchscreen grids by clicking Select an Application and finding your desired one. It even creates a little icon for you. Light is where you'll obviously find all your light customizations. If you're looking to set the color for individual LEDs, you'll need to first select your desired color from down in the bottom left, then draw over the individual LEDs before lastly clicking Save to Layer over on the right of the program window. Powering the RT80 is a massive 5000 mAh battery. You can stay up to date on the battery life with either the indicator on the detachable mini TV or by pressing and holding Function plus backspace to see remaining battery life measured in 10 percentiles from the number keys. Epomaker doesn't make any claims on how many hours you get out of a full charge, but I've only seen the low battery alert on the mini TV and had to recharge it once in the past month. Now that may be it for our closer look at the RT80, but remember, Epomaker also sent out their Cypher 21 wireless number pad. So let's take a quick look and see what that has to offer. The Cypher 21 is pretty cool and convenient when your preferred keyboard is 75% or smaller. It offers dual connectivity between wired USB-C and Bluetooth, a hot swappable PCB, cherry profile 5-side die-sub PBT keycaps, a rotary knob for volume control, and even 4 layers of sound absorption and enhancing materials. It's available in either black or pink with gradient keycaps from light to dark, and it actually comes with the same switches that are in my RT80, the Wisteria linear switches. And they still sound good even in a numpad. Of course, that's partially due to those 4 layers of padding such as the sound absorbing cotton, a switch pad, PET sound enhancement pad, and bottom silicone pad. And this isn't a numpad, granted a $40 numpad, but remember it's also hot swappable and wireless and has those cherry profile keycaps, which actually feel incredibly comfortable. They're also PBT, so they're resilient to smudges. Unfortunately, I wish I could say the same about the outer shell. The entire casing is glossy plastic and it's a fingerprint magnet. Even its side-mounted rotary knob is glossy, so anytime you rotate it to control audio volume or press it to turn on or off the white backlight, you're probably smudging it up. Still, it's proven itself a convenient desk accessory that can easily be moved out of the way, stashed in a drawer, and brought back over to type in a PIN or credit card number, or even be used as a calculator, which you can switch to by holding AC for 5 seconds. And since the numpad isn't a heavily used tool, the 1000 mAh battery is more than enough to keep it powered, and your desk cable-free for a long time. One thing to remember though is anytime you power on the device, it makes an incredibly annoying beep for every single button press. You can deactivate it by pressing AC plus subtract, but it's still annoying that you have to do this every time you power it on. But that, and the glossy fingerprint magnet shell, are my only 2 gripes with it. Other than that, it's a pretty solid desk accessory. So if you're interested in either of these Epomaker products, you can click the links down in the description. Also be sure to give the video a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more gaming setup content and gaming tech reviews like this. Thanks so much for watching, later.